Have you ever noticed how some people help others not out of kindness but to feel better about themselves? Katherine Mansfield's short story, A Cup of Tea, explores this very truth. How a simple act of generosity can reveal pride, vanity, and the deep insecurities hidden beneath wealth. Written in 1922 by Katherine Mansfield, a leading figure of modernist literature, A Cup of Tea reflects early 20th century London society where class divisions were sharply defined. It captures a single afternoon in the life of Rosemary Fell, a wealthy and fashionable woman whose brief encounter with a poor girl exposes the shallow nature of her compassion. Through this story, Mansfield explores class difference, materialism, gender roles, and psychological insecurity, all through the smallest of everyday events. The story is set in London during the early 90s, a time of deep social inequality and economic contrast. The setting highlights the gap between Rosemary's world of luxury and Miss Smith's worlds of poverty. Mansfield's modernist style focuses not on action but on emotion and inner experience. Her writing exposes the emptiness of upper class life and the illusions people create to feel meaningful. Before we dive into the story, let's look at the characters. Rosemary Fell, a young, rich, and elegant woman who prides herself on her taste. She believes she is kind, but her actions reveal vanity and insecurity. Miss Smith, a poor, hungry girl who asks for the price of a cup of tea, she represents poverty and the forgotten side of society. Philip Fell, Rosemary's husband, calm and practical, but his one simple remark about Miss Smith's beauty triggers Rosemary's jealousy and exposes her fragile ego. Now let's dive into the story. One cold winter afternoon, Rosemary Fell goes shopping in a fancy antique store. She admires a small, expensive box but decides not to buy it. As she steps out, a poor young girl, Miss Smith, approaches and asks, Madam, would you let me have the price of a cup of tea? Moved or perhaps excited by the idea of doing something noble, Rosemary invites her home for tea. At home, she offers Miss Smith tea, sandwiches, and warmth. But this kindness is mixed with self admiration. She enjoys feeling generous and superior. When her husband Philip returns, he is surprised to see the girl. Later, when Miss Smith steps out of the room, he says quietly, I say, she's rather pretty. That single comment changes everything. Jealousy and insecurity floods Rosemary's heart. She quickly gives Miss Smith money and sends her away. And then, in one of the most powerful endings in short fiction, Rosemary turns to her husband and asks, Am I pretty? The story ends there, with her vanity overpowering her kindness. Now let's look at the themes. First one, class and hypocrisy. The upper class often treats charity as entertainment, not empathy. Second, insecurity and vanity. Rosemary's entire self worth collapses with a single remark. Third, illusion versus reality. Her kindness is not genuine, it's performative. Fourth, materialism and emptiness. Surrounded by wealth, Rosemary feels emotionally poor. Fifth, gender and identity. The story critiques how upper class women were expected to be admired and validated. Sixth, jealousy and competition. Rosemary's jealousy of Mrs. Smith beauty destroys her illusion of generosity. Now, let us talk about some literary devices. The cup of tea represents shallow, polite charity, a gesture without depth. The antique box stands for material beauty and Rosemary's desire to possess. Miss Smith mirrors Rosemary's own moral poverty beneath her wealth. The tone is subtle, ironic, and quietly critical. Mansfield doesn't openly condemn Rosemary, she lets her behavior reveal her flaws. Her modernist style focuses on suggestion, nuance, and emotion. The language is elegant yet sharp, exposing truth through understatement. The title, A Cup of Tea, sounds simple, but it's deeply symbolic. It represents a temporary surface level and act of kindness. Something warm, polite, but fleeting. Just like the tea, Rosemary's Charity is momentary and empty. The title perfectly captures the story's central irony, a gesture of generosity served with vanity. So, what is the moral message here, children? True kindness is humble and selfless. When we help others just to feel good about ourselves, it's no longer compassion. It's pride disguised as kindness. Through Rosemary Fell, Mansfield teaches that real generosity comes from empathy, not ego. Outer beauty and wealth mean little if the heart remains empty. Let me conclude, children. In A Cup of Tea, Katherine Mansfield uses everyday life to reveal deep human truths. Through irony, psychology, and delicate observation, she exposes how easily our good intentions can become self deception. It is a timeless reflection on class, vanity, and the fragility of human pride. Written with the grace and insight that make Mansfield one of the greatest short story writers of her time. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more English literature explanations. And tell me in the comments, do you think Rosemary's kindness was real or just a reflection of her vanity? Thank you for watching.